A grafted people born here in the wilderness of North America, with no knowledge of self, no self-respect, and no love for self. Politically immature. He said we have not because we demand not. And we demand not because truly deep down inside, we don't think we deserve it. And if we're blessed to live another 400 years, our conditions won't change. We are afraid to fight for ourselves. So we just fight for everybody else.
Welcome to Judge Shady Court, where we decide who's guilty, not guilty, who's officially trash. Okay, welcome. Make sure you thumbs up the video, guys. Just in, I could barely get the words out. According to the Shade Room, Wendy Williams' official doctor allegedly wrote one note, and that was all it took to absolutely commit Wendy Williams to this guardianship. Okay, we're not going to say a conservatorship, we're going to say a guardianship to keep it a little smooth. Now, if you are like myself going through this actual article, according to TMZ and the Shade Room, exclusive details are as follows. They say court records show that in 2022, before the guardianship was filed, Wendy's psychiatrist Rami Kamansky wrote a letter to her financial advisor Lori Schiller. The letter stated that Wendy, who had been his patient for over a year, appeared unstable, okay? Unable and unstable, all the same, to make reasoned decisions with her insight and her judgment described as severely impaired. Now, you might be asking yourself, wait a minute, that's not the Wendy that we see. It's absolutely not the Wendy that we see. I'm so nervous and I'm so shocked. Like, I had to come here quick, okay? You know, we're a little more refined in this courtroom, but right now, a lot of us been running around saying, free Wendy. And when the Shade Room dropped this tea here, my. A source close to the situation tells the Shade Room that this letter submitted to Wells Fargo Bank was absolutely instrumental in the decision to establish guardianship, which stripped Wendy of her rights and isolated her from her loved ones. The source believes the letter reflects a premeditated effort to undermine Wendy's independence. Now, this is a lie, okay? Most of you guys know talk show veteran, TV veteran, Wendy Williams. There has never been another, and there never will be. We are seeing, due to a lot of the abuse of alcohol and unsolicited drugs, we're not sure exactly what kind. Wendy was very open and honest, okay? Wendy obviously loved the party. However, is that reason enough to try to take complete control over this woman's life? Now, I'm going to share a little scoop with you, just a little tea. Wendy is 95% back to herself, in my own opinion, okay? Now, if you were listening to the Shade Room, they showed the actual letter here. So fair use commentary and everything is alleged at this point until further notice, okay? Because the judge is going to be right here and we will be getting into each and everything. So let's get a little closer. So this was dated 1/2022, and it said to Lori Schiller, okay, Wells Fargo Bank, regarding Wendy Williams. And obviously this was the actual doctor writing to Lori Schiller, who works for Wells Fargo Bank. Now, just like many of you, just like yourself, you're probably like, wait a minute, how in the world can my psychiatrist, you know, the guy you go to get them prescribed drugs that make sure you living your best life? Ain't nothing wrong with seeking help. If you really need it, go get it. But let's be clear, when a doctor's decision to take complete control over your life and all power, and it's directed to your local bank, one of the workers for the local bank, you obviously understand, in the judge's own opinion, there's got to be some sort of corruption going on. First of all, what we've witnessed, we see a whole bunch of things, okay? I can tell you like this, we see a whole bunch of things that's actually wrong with this letter. First of all, what happened to the doctor and client, okay, confidentiality? Where's that clause at? I think that absolutely went out the window. And not only that, when was the last time your psychiatrist reached out to the bank of yours? Even though it was Wells Fargo, it could have been Bank of America. When has a psychiatrist been in a position to call up your bank and tell them you crazy. Make that make sense. See, the judge is very, very smart. And I got a feeling that something is afoot. It sounds like a little storm is brewing, quite possibly behind the scenes. And the judge going to stay right on top of it, giving you a play-by-play of it all. Now, guys, think about this letter here. This is my doctor. I'm going to seek services from him. He sees that I'm struggling or possibly have some sort of issue. He reaches out to the bank. Why not the family first? Why not someone who is actually in her circle, the people that love her? Wendy Williams, I'm speaking of. Come on, y'all, keep up with me. When I saw this on the Shade Room, I'm like, yeah, I got to do more research. So let's get here really quick. All right. Because we want to understand, and I really could not find the actual timeline. I looked and looked and looked and looked and looked. Okay. I needed a timeline, and this is all that they really gave you. My. Wendy Williams was diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia, FTD, okay, in 2023. Though the news of her diagnosis was made public on February the 22nd, 2024 by her medical team, okay? Now, the diagnosis, Wendy was diagnosed with FTD. We saw that. Timing of the diagnosis. The diagnosis was made in 2023 after undergoing a series of medical tests. Public announcement. The news of the diagnosis was made public on February 2024. Impact. Her team stated that conditions have presented significant hurdles in Wendy's life. It's not enough for me. It's absolutely not enough for me. And as I was pouring over this letter, fair use commentary, all things said in this video is alleged fair use. We are actually speaking on, because I don't think I've ever seen this in my lifetime, a psychiatrist vacating and downright ignoring attorney-client basic, okay? This is supposed to be confidential. And I absolutely don't know why a psychiatrist would be reaching out to your local bank authority. Make that make sense. That alone should spark an investigation, in my own opinion. Listen, I am Judge Shady Court. I'm going to be on top of this. I'm going to dig into this a little more, okay? We're going to dig into it. Now, let's keep going really, really quick. A lot of us been saying free Wendy, free Wendy, free Wendy. I personally know that, like I stated earlier, Wendy is back to at least 85 to 95% of herself. She is sober, she is clean, and she's living her best life. Wendy has never been shy in reference to her drug addiction and the health scares, her struggles, and her battles. She's been open and honest. Will Wendy Williams ever get back to zipping it and zooing it on that purple couch? Okay. Let's be clear. This lady deserves her life back no matter what. She deserves to be around people who absolutely adore her and who absolutely cherishes her. Let's be clear. She's 60 years old, for God's sake. Okay. She's already 60. She deserves to live her absolute best as being one of the most amazing broadcasters, radio and television broadcasters. There will never be another Wendy Williams, no matter how hard somebody try. Okay. Now, I want to dwell a little bit because y'all know the judge be very busy. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Are you doing this? Are you doing this really quick? Are you doing this? Are you doing this? Oh, it's going to be more to come. We're going to find out. Is this doctor shady? Is it some shady shenanigans going on in reference? According to the Shade Room, they're alleging that this note was premeditated. So that was even before this guardianship even came along. My. We have a lot to discuss. And we're going to be getting into it because we're going to be watching. We absolutely going to be watching. And most of you guys know Wendy just getting over the loss of her talk show, the loss of her mom, the loss of her freedom. It's got to make a huge impact on her mental. But at the same time, we all must remember, to whom much is given, much is very much required. But this is the lady, if it wasn't for Miss Shirley Williams, may she rest in peace. This is the lady that brought Wendy Williams to the world. Okay. brought her to the world. If it wasn't for Miss Shirley Williams, we wouldn't have known Wendy Williams. Okay. So let's break it down really quick. Who in the world is Miss Shirley Williams? Well, don't be surprised. Wendy Williams absolutely comes from fine stock. Okay. Her parents were teachers and authorities. Okay. In their own right. All right. Wendy Williams' mother, Shirley Williams, was involved in a drunk driving car accident in 1997. Now, let the judge be clear. I had to dig and dig and dig for this. Okay, wait a minute. This is the rough draft. The rough draft, I had to hit it while it's hot. It'll be a little more refined. Follow the lives. Make sure you subscribe. Now, most of you guys are shocked. They're like, oh my goodness. Oh, it was. Listen, alcoholism is just that. It's a chronic disease. Okay. I truly believe in any addiction, I'm tongue tied today. In any addiction, the person has to officially be tied for themselves. Okay. So I got to wonder, if Wendy can't put the bottle down, usually, often than not, it is tied somewhere in the family. And lo and behold, this one document I was able to find, and I got to do further research on it. So stay tuned. I'm bringing y'all the Wendy Williams series. The incident. Let's break this down. They say the apple don't fall far from the tree, and neither does addictions. Okay. Shirley Williams was driving under the influence and crashed her car into a pole, resulting in her arrest. Okay. As a result of the accident, Shirley Williams was arrested and charged with drunk driving. Wendy Williams has spoken publicly about the incident, expressing her concern for her mother's well-being and her desire to help her overcome her struggles. Rest in peace once again to Miss Shirley Williams. Rest in peace. But this is something that is quite shocking. Sometimes when your loved ones, they end up addicted, you go down the family tree. Is it hereditary? Is it something we could have did? Could we save little Johnny? No, it is what it is. But who knew? Wendy Williams' mother was a very, very reputable, okay, and infamous teacher, okay? She broke down barriers, opened doors for teachers to come behind her. But who knew that she was involved in this accident? We will be following up to see if anybody was hurt. Like I said, this particular document was absolutely scrubbed, but Judge Shady Court was able to get to a little of it. Oh my goodness. So it's a lot to unpack. What are your thoughts? Do you think Wendy's alcoholism is a result of it being passed down through the family? Was Miss Williams battling the same disease? It's a lot to think about. What in the world is going on with this document? How in the world could it be dated for 2022 and allegedly her guardianship was nowhere around? Make it make sense. Is this the doctor's note that started it all? Is it legit? Was it right that they went to the bank instead of Wendy Williams' family? Rest in peace to Miss Shirley Williams. I am Judge Shady Court. We have more, aka Free Wendy. Free Wendy. We will find out who's guilty and not guilty. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.